you put your opinion on here? If I give my 2 cents on this, I do feel like looking at any game with a Marcy lane, I want to give it an instant 60-40 at least.
Yeah, and especially when it's with a Shadow Fiend as well, right? Like, that just puts it even further in the favor. I'm trying to think, are they going to be able to deal with this guy? I mean, you've got Monkey King playing in the mid lane. You've got Mars, who should have a decent-ish time. I mean, that's probably my main concern, right? Actually, wait, Kiddo is playing it. So is this a 4 Mars?
I think it might be. I mean, a tad role swap might be in place here. Sorry for unfriend SF. Already a bit of discussion there going while we are going to be fighting right away. It is the Overprotective Wisps healing up this Enchantress, though. Has that blood grenade, but going to get hit by one here. Kadu tried to keep them away here. One
so balanced
thing I wanted to bring up as this fight keeps on going is this Monkey King facet, which we'll get to talk about in a second, with this Doom being chased. Kadu with Washed Up following him, looking for that first kill. They'll get it. One Hita will be traded off as the Morta will drop. They're still holding the high ground position. Mars is going to be walking in. It's like, oh boy, they're still here. So it's time to
look at the
out.
ward. They know absolutely everything of what's going on down here, even during the nighttime. They want to make sure that they're looking to try and bully as much as possible. Looks like they're going to split up a little bit, see how many runes that they could look to secure, and it should probably be at least 3, you would say, for no, maybe even the full 4.
Yeah. I love how Gluttony, he put down that ward on the high ground, and he kind of just walks in blind, making this Hoodwink think that they don't actually have a ward there. If he turned around, he'd instantly reveal they put a ward on the high ground as well. So that will stay where it is. And we're going to get our game underway. Bounties 2 for 2. So my point on this Monkey King facet, in Pro Tracker, it's picked up 14.7% of the time, the Wukong's Faithful.
Oh.
So very rarely picked up facet with a lower win rate than Simeon Stride in pubs.
Yeah, I mean, he had Simeon Stride chosen for the majority of the pregame. I was looking at it, and yeah, just to go over to the Wukong's Faithful, very interesting. Maybe just feeling like he is going to be repositioned by the Marcy pretty frequently. It means that if you use the Requiem, you've still got time to get back into the Wukong's ring and keep that area denial up. Looks like Kiddo's just playing core this game. Switched it up.
Yeah, it seems like it. I guess that is one of the strengths of your team if you have players for multiple roles. I mean, by the way he played that Nyx Assassin, he definitely looked like a guy who loves to farm.
Oh, yeah. He's got that core mentality.
That is maybe something to write down on my notebook as well. You know, just have a... Because I'm a pause 3 player, but playing a hero that just focuses mostly on farm, like the Nyx Assassin. Like, maybe I could, you know, add that in for the future.
Trying to see as well, like, is Hoodwink ever going to go up?
Kill, by the way. Marcy is in trouble. You do just needs a couple extra hits, and the blood grenade from the Morta will take him down. Make that a second kill now for Advance.
Very nice. Yeah, the point that I was saying, like, it's a bit of a weird spot to put that Observer Ward that you were talking about with Gluttony, right? Like, just because it is a pretty common spot that there's going to be a sentry drop down to block up that small camp. So when Delsa walks up onto this high ground, he, I assume, is going to be able to hit this Observer Ward. There we go. It took him quite some time to do it.
Finally able to find it. What I like about Gluttony is you get that extra level. So Chain Lightning, instead of 140 damage, does 180 damage. So on level 1, level 2, it's like a really good time to use that. Sadly, it's still an Ench you're going up against, so you're probably burning more mana than actually hurting this Ench.
Yeah. Really need to try and focus onto the Sniper instead. Look to have him be the main target of a lot of your aggression. Kind of want to see Delsa finish up that Ring of Basilius as well, because right now, Doom doesn't exactly have a ton of mana to be able to play with, and Gluttony's just doing whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah, taking full control right now. Sniper able to catch up and farm. Only had like 8 last hits. So finally catching up on the CS department. He does have that ghillie suit, so no instant burst damage, but he does have to sustain overall. Looking for the kill on the Doom. Just one more hit required. And we'll be able to get out, but that is a costly retreat for the Doom. He's got
At least
no
he has
regen.
the healing Lotus on Delsa.
Yeah, that's all they
To
have.
give that one over. Just keep that pressure up, even just into the tower this early on. With the Enchantress, it is always an area of concern. And it's reduced to having to just use the Chain Lightning to be able to get fast hits on some of these range creeps. That's going to help. Killing the Courier, though. 2 Couriers.
Solid. There's a bit of extra gold there for nanana. But yeah, with that heart...
My eyes are on... Are we calling him Jesus or Jesus? What are we doing here?
I mean, are we an SA? Or NA?
No, we're not. We're not.
Or we can make a middle ground and just call him Jesus.
Jesus!
Jesus Christ. What a fight. They got the toss there on the bottom lane on Muerta. Marcy also taking a heavy hit here, but Kadu will finish him off, and there's the raise to end Muerta's suffering.
Bloody hell, he...
Going heavy on the accents, eh?
One of these days, I want to just do that, like a full Australian accent.
Oh, that would be great. I mean, I can imitate some accents. Like, I know I'm fully Finnish-born. People don't really recognize that from time to time. They're like, oh, you don't sound Finnish at all. I should do a full Finnish cast at some point, like Finnish English cast, a Scottish English cast, which I can probably do pretty well. Do a full, look at that shadow fiend, you know.
Is there a colloquialism for like Finnish English, like Finglish? Is that a thing? Because like Singaporean English can be called Singlish sometimes.
Yes, we do have we have Rally English, which is the Finnish English, because you know, like old school 90s, 80s like rally drivers, they were really popular coming out from Finland to the world. They're like, oh, these guys are really good. Every time they gave an interview, they were like, so you did a fantastic lap out there. How did that car feel? Yes, the tires were a bit bad, but the weather was awful. So yeah, so you know, they just went with like how you pronounce the letters, put them into English, and pronounce it out. That's how it is.
Sure.
It's like pronouncing the letters as they're written. What?
We're talking about like the Kimi Raikkonens of the world, or
Kimi has actually a decent English accent, even though he does have rally English, but somewhere alongside that. And of course, the very monotone voice, you know. Yeah, they didn't really like the race today. It was not. It sounds a bit Spanish English, but it's fully like. Not to get too deep into
like
it, we should do a
of
cast like that sometimes.
That's right. There's a lot of European both casters and just people that I feel like have very like. You couldn't tell they have an accent. Like Cindered, for example, he could very easily just pass as being American.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about that earlier on today. Actually, I was like, yeah, he definitely sounds like an American. America, as they get the Bushwhack to connect on Enchantress, but not quite enough for the kill with level 2. And Doom just continues to get zoned out of this lane. He's no longer welcome. Is he going to lose his life this time? Yes, he will. Sniper's got it. And with Hoodwink lacking mana, Sniper sees an opportunity and seizes the day.
I mean, he's had a lot of money for quite some time, Delsa. Like, he could have had the Ring of Basilius this entire time, just helping his Doom to spam out that Chain Lightning a little bit and discourage that sort of behavior. As Gluttony, being up to his name, he's going deep. He wants to try and yoink away that Wisdom Rune if he can. An eye on Delsa.
Love how there's, you know, he's playing a lane versus a Gluttony Doom as Gluttony. So, you know, he is the lane. Delsa denies the Wisdom Rune. That's something.
Does give a nice juicy creep wave though for the Doom to be able to pick up, so even though he's been bullied for the majority of this lane, I don't know who he's trying to chase here. You are losing so many creeps underneath this tower. This is not a good option in my eyes.
Very costly here.
With the Primal coming.
With the Primal, they'll take down the Sniper. I don't think they can catch the Ench though, because Ench is a prime counter to this Primal Beast, as they do get the Pulverize off, but damage is lacking with a Monkey King showing up, and suddenly it's a 3 versus 1, as the Hoodwink seems like he's not even interested in helping out Jesus. Trying to make a run for it. Has full stacks of Uproar. He's a tanky boy. And they actually find Gluttony with that. So Delsa, with all that time given, is able to intervene. Now the
Jesus is dead though.
Tree Dance is ready. Jump misses the jump.
Nice shoot.
Alright.
Found this up.
He's got no mana for another dead shot. They're going to have to rely on right clicks here. Sniper shows up. Oh my goodness, this guy's breaking ankles. What is this, Michael Jordan?
I don't know. He could have just gone to the tree dance again. I'm a little surprised that he was able to just walk away.
That's worthy of a tip. Not that kill, but
The jukage.
the jukage. So
I mean, the big plus for nanana, though, is that we haven't really called much of this Shadow Fiend unless he's been getting kills, right? And that's exactly the sort of start that you've been wanting. So, yes, the Sniper's having a pretty good game. Yes, the Monkey King is having an amazing game. This SF is always going to be an issue. And again, he's got a steroid on his team in the form of this Marcy with the sidekick.
yeah, already 2 points up, 15% extra base damage, 18% lifesteal. It's kind of like your Mask of Madness, even if SF is still going to want to build that. Just double up on the lifesteal end, while in the triangle, Enchantress is going to end up getting caught here by the Doom. He's not afraid to drop it. It's like, we're not taking any second chances this time around. Monkey misses another Primal Spring there, but didn't really look like a fight with the Primal chasing him too.
I don't hate that. I mean, it's just so annoying to have an Enchantress constantly running up into you, so you may as well just drop the Doom, get the gold bounty from killing him off. There's no one really else that you're wanting to Doom at this stage of the game. Like, Muerta, sure, but she's off on the other side of the map.
And also, now that I'm looking at we were talking about like
lane.
this Doom all washed up. That's a nice stun out. Does actually
missed.
dodge first stun, but doesn't get the other. The silence is nicely placed by Wanhida, and it might be enough to take down Michael. Oh boy. We'll talk about that timely usage of the Mischief as well after all the spells were used. They weren't sure if they can actually get this kill, and now you got 4 heroes showing up the mid, and Advanced Esports, they will punish quite heavily too. 3 heroes for the rotation to miss out on a kill, lose 2 heroes, and some damage to that T1 tower.
It just goes to show, like, the tiniest little misplays can really result in a whole lot more, right? If you just simply hit that bushwhack,
Look at bottom.
that's a dead Monkey King.
SF's getting run over. Mars has ulti ready. Misses the spear. Has the arena, though. The Requiem is cancelled for the moment, and he's just raising this Mars away. Long range raise available, and it's a bit too short.
That was prime time to Requiem. He'd already used the spear, so wasn't really in any danger of any risk. But I guess if you have that escape mechanism, that safety parachute that you can just pop it every time, you want to try and hold it as much as possible, because he should know that he is target number 1.
Smoke towards top. Well, I wouldn't say smoke, it's just regular movement. Doom's gonna get caught here. Monkey King has the stun available. Deadshot connects, and they don't even need to use it. Sniper wanted to KS that kill. That's all Monkey King, baby, right there. Bottom as well, a bit of a dive under the T1 tower. Michael and Mr. Zog. Oh no, now the SF's not getting out of this one. The free farm SF killed for the first time this game. And now chasing onto Michael. Jesus comes around. Gets a bit of poke onto Gluttony and Kadu. No pulverize used. Dead. He wants to maximize the damage on all 3, but the spear will cancel it out from Kadu.
Sniper's here too.
So,
They just get the assassinate
they're splitting a bit.
to the Marcy.
Got 2 heroes chasing Marcy and 2 on the Primal Beast, so they're not going to get either one.
Doom's
Maybe
got
the
Doom.
Primal might die. And there we go. The Doom is onto the Mars. They want to secure that kill. Jesus gets taken out. There's the jump from Marcy. But Michael, again, just a bit too late for the party. And Roche
Denied to Roche.
Yeah.
Oh, is he going to get caught as he runs away? Bit of a timely pause coming through here. It was his team, though, so you can't really claim anything too suspicious there. Just a matter of when are they going to get vision. 2.3 seconds left on at the channel time. I think he is dead meat.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that was a very odd choice to try and dive a level 6 Enchantress with. I think he still had a charge in the raindrops. He has, of course, the Overprotective Wisp. He has the Nature's Attendants. He has the Seeds of Serenity. Very, very survivable. And yet they're trying to dive beyond a tower when they could have very easily just hit that tier 1 along with the Siege Creep and not been out of position.
Nicely played there by the Hoodwink.
Oh, he's gone the Ironwood tree as well, so he is really sneaky. He might be able to get some big plays off using that as his bushwhack.
Yeah. Short range ones at least. Like if only Ironwood Tree had like insane cast range, it would be like the item for Hoodwink, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see some fancy GG bushwhacks.
Could happen.
Haste spawn top. Morta's gonna secure that away. While SF is farming the triangle, one thing you might have been able to do with that haste is take a quick stroll into the triangle, check if there's any stacks for the SF. You would have run into enemy trouble though. Mars
what I do like here is
going
that
on the Doom.
one hater. Yep.
There's the arena and the spear. It's taking a while. It's a very tanky boy. Gonna have to wait 3 more seconds for another spear, and he just lives. Ench wasn't close enough.
So he's not having the most amazing start to the game here on the Doom, but he's pretty much got the money for his Midas, so that recovery is going to be coming through, and it gives you now a way to be able to just instantly deal with that Ench creep.
That was a pretty short jump from Michael. Really welcome in the Olympics with moves like that.
Mm-hmm. It goes to show how much aggression is actually coming out from Advanced Esports as well, with 4 bounties picked up by Gluttony. Ooh. They just haven't wanted to venture back into their own jungle once. When you've got a Monkey King, when you've got an Enchantress to be able to play around with, why not?
Now that's a lot of dosh.
All right.
With the Doom, though, I did what I was trying to talk about earlier when you were pointing out he's missing out like double creep waves under his tower, chasing all of those fights that follow, basically the fight that followed to this point. He's been capitalizing on those kills and assists quite well, getting those couple solo Dooms. If he did get the Mars kill at the Roche pit, that would have been huge as well, with the SF in trouble. Mr. Zoc gets pushed away, but it's not going to be enough for Michael to save his life. As Jace is going to be chased as well under his own tower. Kadoo's not willing to dive it without the backup of his buddies, and they walk straight back into the gang squad. They never left this area. They just waited on the high ground for their time. And Doom is trying to secure a kill with a Chain Lightning, but it's not enough to kill the wards up, but the Bushwhack is there. They'll get something, but still hurts quite a lot on nanana's side.
Indeed, a bit of an odd choice there by the Primal Beast to delay the onslaught by quite so much. He really was wanting to protect his own life as much as possible by going, both through and beyond all of those heroes grouped up by Advance, but that's not really your role this game. You can protect your own life, sure, but not at the expense of the Shadow Fiend. He's the one that needs to be scaling. He's the one that can't be dying too many more times. It's the 2 deaths now, and you can see what it means on the net worth charts. He's falling a good 1k behind both the Monkey King and the Sniper. If you were falling, a little bit behind one of them, wouldn't be too bad, but both...
Smoke on smoke clash.
Screams, yeah.
Monkey King just instantly gets his stacks up for Marcy. And, that's the easiest kill. It's so easy to play this Dire lineup right now because they're so active with all of these heroes. Enchantress might get run over, but still talking about the heals. Pushes one hero away. And again, just the Doom is like, I'm so tired of you, Ench. And now the arena comes out. It's got the Doom inside of it. Wanhida helping out with the Pierce the Veil, and the damage is there. Gluttony falls to the Doom, but Doom killed, and Monkey King is also here on the stalk, on the prowl. Catches Delsa. Bushwhack's ready now, but does he get the chance to use it? Oh, he planted the tree and everything. Just doesn't have the time to Bushwhack.
I mean, that's just the power of the Lance of Pursuit as well. That extra slow combining together with the Orb of Corrosion means that very few heroes can run away from him. It's basically only the Primal Beast. And, I mean, you've got a stun for him if he tries to charge up that onslaught. You've also got an Enchantress with the Enchant just to be able to dispel that.
Yeah, we already got a blink up on the Mars, too. So, Michael with that level 1 rebound. The cast range is just not long enough to surprise your opponent. So if they get the smoke, they gotta get really close until they're actually properly get their spells off. Sniper, though, doesn't have the movement speed. Run away from a gang squad like this. If you turn left, that will be your Doom. And Doom literally walking straight into him. Mass TP's coming out as well to protect him. And they will not get the Sniper right away, but can they get him in the end?
Silenced.
Running away, the Boundless is there, takes down Michael, Jesus on the run, and this Primal gets speared to the tree. And the dinosaurs get hunted down. Different type of comet this time around.
Love the instant reactions. I think that's the big thing that's separating these two teams right now, is that Advance just seem to be playing that little bit faster, whether it be, consistently trying to play around these aggressive wards that they've been able to place down both in the top lane as well as up on the high ground. I highlighted again, not really taking any of their bounty runes just because they're wanting to take advantage of the strong early game, because they know it could still be a little bit of a risk. Even with a 10k lead 17 minutes in, this SF is just that busted if it gets to the later stages of the game. So, like the fact that they're keeping the pressure up, and I like the fact that they were so quick on the fingers to just mass TP in.
It's just so easy for them to fight. they have heroes that are very efficient at this time, and nanana just, it's either you fight with the Doom or you don't fight at all.
Dude, Gluttony is doing so much this game.
Yeah, Gluttony's been all over their faces this entire match. That's another triple. 10-0, 10 Monkey King, by the way.
I mean, I was about to say, like, where is the Marcy? Because she should be the protection for the Shadow Fiend, right? It was the last one of those. Well, him and, her and the Ogre Magi, but if you're going to go the Marcy, you need to be babysitting at this point. You know, SF has died 3 times in a row for pretty much 0 impact now at this stage, and it was all because of Gluttony, just distracting 3 people on his own as this Enchantress. This is worth a ban in every single game of mine. I'm actually going to go back to my hero list and add it to my list of bans again.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Also looking at, I mean, Primal Beast should usually take the onslaught damage as the level 10 talent, but I feel like if the game is this rough, you're kind of forced to pick that talent as well instead of the 25% magic resistance during trample, which is pretty useful even if there's a lot of physical on the enemy side. Not too much of a tangent, just thinking that maybe nanana is also facing some inner, I wouldn't say panic yet, but maybe a bit of crumbling as they just have to find an early timing to keep this game still going, keep themselves in it. They can't look at their late game plan anymore.
No, they can't. And I think what they're really waiting for is, again, level 15 on the SF and BKB on the SF. Those are the 2 timings that they're waiting for, because they've got lifesteal in the form of the Vampire Fangs, they've got lifesteal in the form of the Sidekick. You just need to make sure that you're not being gimped by the Muerta, and you're not being stunned up and chain controlled by this Mars.
Yeah. Now you got a pretty limited time to deal damage too with Rebound, Bushwhack, and Pulverize, which are the tools that enable you to just hit your opponents. And you have overwhelming damage when you get to use it, but it really just comes down to the usage of their abilities. And just look at the difference between the support levels. You got double 11s on Ench and Muerta. You have a 6 Marcy and a 7 Hoodwink, where they're so far behind in XP.
And they're going to have a free Aghanim Shard at some point soon as well, because you got 5 heroes now by Advance just camping the Radiant Tormentor.
Yeah, nobody has a shard yet.
Take it down.
So the first one, that will go to Gluttony. He's well-deserved this one. It's been all over the Radiant side. Jesus trying to make a run again. Looks like this Primal Beast just gets pushed out of position. Michael trying to work on the Muerta. Nice little Blink War Stomp there to take this Muerta down. They will find the kill. And on the Mars as well. Okay. Make it 2. So it works out in the end. That's a big streak for the Primal to get off of that kill.
Gonna try and just bully again Gluttony on the front lines with the Monkey King helping him out.
Oh, the trample destroys the tree that initially caught the monkey, but the Doom is there as well. Jesus down. Michael finding it out. The SF helps him to take the monkey away. And that's a big, another kill for this Doom. This boy's getting rich suddenly with a Bushwhack catching 2 into the Requiem Fear. Sniper Aegis, that is also history. Delsa.
Gluttony's still alive.
Going to get out. Yeah, Gluttony just going all around is like, I'm going to be the last man standing if it needs to be.
He's frontlining as a position 5 on this Enchantress, and they even see that he's been able to place down an Observer Ward. He's taken towers. He's doing absolutely everything in his power this game. Not even kill stealing either. 0 kills, 3 deaths, and 13 assists on this Enchantress. He's doing a whole body of work, but that was finally a good fight where they were able to catch out the key heroes, providing a lot of the control for Advanced Esports.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just looking at some of the itemization for Dire as well. You can see Mars is already looking towards utility with the damage already provided by the Sniper and the Monkey King. So he's got the Hex lined up. And Sniper looking for Silver Edge to apply an extra break for the team. Who do you think the Silver Edge is for, or is it just simply survival?
Could be for survival. I mean, it's nice just to be able to have that for the lower cooldown on it as well. You know, it just enables you to be roaming around a little bit more frequently with the rest of your team. Again, doubling down on the real aggressive style that they've been liking to play, but don't want to stop. They've got Link BKB now with the Mars, so they want to try and just get a quick pick off supports.
Yep.
Not going to be enough. You want that Blink reveal to be a little bit more valuable.
Close call on Delsa. Still surviving for quite a long time here, but eventually meets her inevitable end. Meanwhile,
Getting close though to those timings we were talking about. SF is level 15. He's going to walk into 3 bounty runes, and that'll give him enough to be able to buy up this BKB. So they're going to need to be a little careful if they try and get a little bit too antsy. Maybe push up onto that high ground before they're truly ready.
yeah, he's able to take that top T1 tower with ease with his 15
He'll just
talent.
take mid. 3 hit maybe? 1, 2, oh, okay, not quite as much as I was thinking in terms of the damage, and even popping the glyph to make sure that they're protecting it.
Yeah, Kidu does get the Doom in his hands, though. He keeps breaking his blink, so he's not able to get out. The Spear's up in another 2 seconds. Michael goes down. There's another fight happening in the Radiant Triangle, or not the Triangle, the Jungle, as this Sniper is in trouble.
SF's
No
here,
Aegis
though.
anymore. Sniper is gone. Mr. Zoc cleans him up, now focusing on Gluttony. That is his first lasting presence stack he's able to pick up.
Sproink.
Easy jump to the river.
It's a valuable kill as well. That was a killing spree, just given over to him. And you know what? That net worth deficit isn't looking quite as bad as it used to be. It's still a 10k lead, but that SF is now keeping up with all of these other cores.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 3rd or the 4th time this game they split their team fight. Advance tried to reply on another hero while leaving people behind. Or like we saw in the bottom T1 tower when they had 4 heroes in, they split 2 and 2 and didn't really get either of those kills because one got denied them by Roshan. And now the same thing, they leave their sniper behind, which I think is a hero you need to kind of protect at this stage of the game. He's worth not a lot of money, but he's worth a lot of experience because these guys are level 16s. And like we saw in the Doom, he caught up by like, what, 3 levels with those couple streaks that he got earlier on and a lot of money. He's almost got a Shiva's up now.
That's the value of that Midas coming through from the Doom as well. We should be able to get that tier 1 tower for free as well now. No glyph to be able to protect it this time around, so a little bit more of the map opened up, and seeing a lot of value come out of these defensive wards right now. Look at how defensive the Radiant Vision is. Just, again, wanting to get to those next timings. They know the SF is strong, they know the Primal Beast is strong, they know that they can get so much stronger if they just get a little bit more of that time.
Kidu pushing out the wave pretty deep here. Has a lot of hostiles incoming. Cannot overstay his welcome. Though he is thinking about sticking around, but maybe for a bit too long. Has to spear Jesus. He's thinking there's more people as he just pops the blade mail. He's going for the chase, and Kidu
Yeah.
not quite on
I don't mind that play. It was popping the blade mail to make sure that the blink with the Aghanim shards fire trail was disabled, so if he was banking on a blink to be able to get away from that, he might have been able to catch someone out as a smoke comes through now.
Yeah, they only saw the primal, right? So this could be a very good smoke.
I also see the Enchantress is
Alright.
just hanging around in their jungle because of all these defensive wards, so if they just keep this movement up into the dire side of the map, they're not going to run into her. It's the last person that you want. You want a core, you want to be able to open up the map. No Roshan potential, but still, the possibility of taking a tier 2 tower off the back of a core kill is very enticing.
Did you see that beautiful drawing on the map? Okay, Kidu, he finally reveals
Kidu's
himself in
dead.
the lane. He's so dead. Even if he does manage to try and go for the TP, but there's always Pulverize. And then there's the Doom. I'll use the shorter cooldown. Did you notice the moment they popped that smoke,
Hold
both
on.
teams
TPs.
drew some circles in identical spots here. Jesus trying to go for the chase. The dead shot's a miss. They saw a glimpse of the Muerta and the Ench. Marcy gonna get slowed up by the Enchant, and Primal's kind of alone here in the low ground. They got the jump on the Enchantress. Gluttony is gonna need some backup. Solar Crest keeps him alive. Jesus pops his BKB.
Oh
They
my
know
God.
Doom doesn't have one right now. Or sorry, the Mars one at least, because he's so gone now. Mars,
They found a better target,
my
though.
goodness, they just tear the Monkey King apart. One Hida tries to finish off Jesus. There is the Sniper ulti to take him out. Also, giving him a vision. Doom connected on the Sniper. Sniper's gone as well. This is falling apart for Advance.
The one to survive is Gluttony alongside the Mars, who doesn't want to come in.
They finally get
use
him?
that TP. Maybe. Under the protection of the tier 1,
Oh.
tier 2 tower, Solar Crest. Finally able to take out Gluttony, but doesn't even result in any sort of kill spree because she still doesn't have any kills.
Now you got minus.
This is
You got -4 extra armor, so now this tower drops quickly.
This is what I was talking about, T. You could have a 10k plus net worth lead. It was, what, nearly 12k? Just about, how many minutes ago was that? 10 minutes ago. and it's already shrunk down to 6. SF is now first on the net worth charts, and it really just comes down to hitting those timings, right? Level 15, the multiple BKBs, even just something as simple as a Solar Crest on the Hoodwink coming through, just enabling that that Shadow Fiend a little bit further so that you're not all that concerned about Monkey King and the Sniper.
Yeah, absolutely. And really punishing Advance for wanting to take that 4v5 fight. They already lost to Mars in the top lane. He got killed with his BKB on cooldown, so even if he bought back, it'd be a pretty risky Blink Arena attempt, and of course would have had to buy back to join the fight, so I guess the missed judgment call there from Advance.
They're a little split, though.
They see the SF debuff on Enchantress. They know he's around. And Kidu jumps in. The instant invis from SF. Michael.
Miss their spells, though.
They'll get the Marcy. Can they still get this SF, though? He's already TPing away.
It's away, so at least they know that there's no SF TP, right? So they might look to just try and stick around this Roche pit. Pretty much the maximum timing on Roshan. It's about, pretty much 2.5 minutes, I think, was the timing that it had from the beginning. So going to know that this is a possibility very shortly. Maybe just push out one more wave and maybe blink away that Wisdom Rune if they can, but Roshan is absolutely on the cards for them. Anytime you're going up against these big ultimates, whether it be the Black Hole, the Ravage, the Chronosphere, or the Doom, want that second life just to be able to come right back at it once they've used a lot of their ammunition.
There's that Wisdom Rune, but the Sniper's not aware of it.
They're going to know Roche is up now, though. Previously, it was the Warpine Raider scouting out, but they just want to use that to shove out this bottom lane, make sure that you're not able to get too much vision out on the map, and doesn't look like they're going to be in a position to contest this on nanana. Again, it's all about those timings that they're looking for. Break on the SF is now available with the Silver Edge. You've got the break, of course, with the Hoodwink, looking to build into a little bit of her own scaling potential. Primal Beast, he's also going for it. They're actually going to try and go through the Twin Gate on the Primal as well, but it's going to be a bit too late.
Yeah, he's turning around. The rest of the team is also backing away. It's like, all right, boys, high ground time.
Really, and push out some of these side lanes.
Yeah, really important for Advance now is understanding when to split to push the lanes and when to be grouped up to prepare for a team fight, because they have been a bit all over the place, right? Like, they have been like super sophisticated with necessarily their calls. Maybe they're just feeling that they're ahead, that their drafting's good, their opponents can't do much. But you got to start respecting this Radiant lineup. Like, this is no joke. They can easily hold. They have a good high ground defense too.
They do, but you've also got an Enchantress that's able to just toss a creep up onto that high ground, use that for vision, have that be enough for the
we'll give them that.
Mars, excuse me. I mean, Mars could just blink in and spear someone back into the meat grinder, right? That's always going to be the danger for mine, especially if that is, you know, your powerful initiator in the Primal Beast. That's the one that's making a lot of the space right now for the rest of the team. So that'd be the main area of concern for me. I feel like they're just waiting for Kiddo to get into this Scythe of Vice as well, just to guarantee things that little bit further. Maybe even just the Silver Edge as well for the Sniper, who just hit up onto his level 20.
Yeah. One really easy way to just topple that high ground is just setting up for Monkey King throws in the Boundless Strike, preventing you to use that BKB where Mars can blink in and spear, exactly like you said. So you have some good heroes to at least try to offset your opponents.
Yeah, very few heroes as well have the ability to stand their ground and just man-fight against this SF, just because of all of that minus armor that he's got and the insane amounts of damage. But I gotta say, Advance are pretty well set up to be able to do it, right? The Wukong's command, especially with that Wukong's Faithful, gives you, what, at this point, plus 25 armor? And Sniper hitting level 20 means that he's got that plus 15 take aim armor, in addition to just having a bunch of armor from the Wraith Bands and everything else that he's had at this point in time. So they just pop those. They're actually just going to look to try and stand and deliver against this SF.
They know where they are. They just got the Tormentor info, but there's still that T2 up, so that is pretty low. They'll be able to finish that one off, and that's the final outer tower. Now it's down to the high ground.
They even just use that shrapnel to be able to siege from afar on this Sniper. He's still got the Grove Bow as well, which makes it so much easier to put that one down. And of course, you've got Roshan's Banner just making things that little bit easier.
Yeah, that range creep will not budge. Actually, another on the low ground too.
There we go. Hoodwink's been able to yoink him away at least.
Radiant structures.
Everyone was so cautious about
AD
wanting to step
SF
forward
coming in from
because of
behind,
that.
by the way. He's under a sentry ward. The
Oh.
creeps are going to show him. And if they realize
They see
and
him.
react to it, they spot him. There's the instant route coming out. The spear follow up the arena there. And Mr.
Oh,
Zog,
no.
to the graveyard you go. He did not suspect that sentry's going to be there.
Got the buyback at least, but feels a lot weaker to be able to use it now with the Necromastery losing all of those souls.
That's going to be a lane of Rax. SF doesn't want to buy back to defend it.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
So the Primal spotted. Trying to onslaught away. Actually does manage to run over the Mars, preventing that spear from going off.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's middle
Just waiting for that little bit of a deep dive, feeling like, well, if he had the buyback, he probably would have used it, but very measured way that they're going about this on Advanced Esports, right? Not going for the deep dive because, you know what, they don't need to. They could just sit back, use this sniper to its fullest potential. Still haven't even used the Wukongs, and there we go, right? It just enables you to set up and do whatever you want to these towers without too much threat of reprisal.
Yep.
barracks are under attack. Dire
Trying to make the wraparound from the top side. Waiting for that Wukongs
Didn't
to
work
run
out
out,
the first
but
time, though.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
the racks are already gone. 2 lanes secured for Advance. I think they can finally breathe a bit easier, considering how the last few minutes have been going not really their way. Now finding some success, getting back on track.
Just gives them so much money as well to be able to play around with. And now even someone like the Muerta is a lot tankier, right? She's been able to pick up that plate mail, working into the Lotus, so you've got a way to be able to deal with the Pulverize. Now, you know, it going through BKB, not as big of an issue. Doom, of course, that's always going to be a little bit easier to deal with. Even just having the Gossamer Cape means that you're not necessarily all that super squishy to be able to just quickly pick off. And a Lincoln Sphere up on the Monkey King as well as his Aegis is about to wear out, so off the back of all of those objectives, we're hitting a lot of big timings now on Advanced Esports. I wonder if they look to go on to Sniper, though. He's walking under this vision right now. Got boys hanging around near him.
There's no more smokes in stock for nanana either. This is the last one that they have.
Hold on, could they be baiting this Wisdom Rune? Maybe thinking that they're going to be feeling overly confident,
Oh,
and Sniper, he's the one that
There's
gets
the
picked.
one. That's the perfect catch as well. Kadu's gonna try and fight it back. Nice spear connecting on 2 with a shard. Able to finish off this Hoodwink. Yes, he walks back in to the edge of that arena. Kadu, he's already done his job. Now it's for the Monkey King to deliver. Can he clean them up? Does he have the damage to do so? And also Gluttony. The Edge throwing out the spears. Juanita does pop that Pierce the Veil, zones the rest of them out. Doom is gone without his ulti even being used. Another charge in from Jesus, trying to get
He's on his
a
own,
clone.
though. SF just left him.
They are not really
Oh,
on the
the
same
Lincolns.
page here as well. The Doom is spent on the Monkey King. Michael, the Doom, Mr. Zog, trying their best to keep this fight going, but they're running out of HP. They're running out of time. Michael is gone. Doom running for his life. Caught by the stun, taken down. Advance will clean them up. Like, you could hear it from Denog's voice. There was a plan, but they weren't reading the same page.
No, they weren't. And yeah, there we go. The European smiley face. Even though it's the MESWA region, it's all about that Doom into the Lincoln Sphere. The fresh pickup, the surprise, and, you know, in the chaos of the team fight, that's the sort of thing that can happen. Going for a deeper dive as well onto this SF with that Scythe of Vice. And are they going to be able to pick him off? Maybe, maybe not.
It's taken a while, but finally they get the lockdown required, and that's going to seal the game. That's Mega Creeps, and him without a buyback anymore. That should be history now for game number 1. So one team ends up making a bit more mistakes than the other. I mean, they forced a lot of BKBs. Kidu made a brilliant play with that Mars. It looked like a bit of a chip 8 in the end. It's like, this Mars is doing exactly what he wants. Getting all those BKBs off and then makes this Monkey King carry the rest.
I think Kudo is the MVP for mine. Him alongside
Gluttony.
of Gluttony, just making so much space, right? But the itemization was on point, always seeming to land those double spears, and just being that first form of initiation, meaning that Monkey King doesn't always need to be the first one that joins into a lot of these team fights, right? It just means that you're given a little bit more freedom to do things like dive the backline.
Yeah. Yeah, the draft worked out for Advanced Esports, but really, execution-wise, a bit sloppy here and there, and I'd maybe feel the sweat.
Yeah, for sure. And for this Axe, he's chosen the one-man army facet. I think that's going to need to be how he plays this game. It's going to be rough, for sure, to play this one. And, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, right? He should be nowhere near the Oracle. He should be nowhere near the Invoker in a lot of these team fights. He needs to be the one finding that quick initiation onto the front lines, so that additional strength is going to be quite handy. I just don't know if he's going to get to that scary stage. If he does, if he has a really good laning stage somehow, and if he's able to get into a Blink Blade Mail, maybe they can be able to make something work. I just think that Advance is going to run over them before they can get to that point.
One pretty cool thing for the Invoker this particular game is having that Oracle prognosticate. If you want to really bamboozle your opponents, they know they have Oracle, they know where the rune's going to be, set up on the wrong side and try to make a play happen there, or just, you know, smoke up on the other side where the rune is actually going to spawn, and get something out of these supports, you know, Elder Titan, a long-range initiation with the Echo Stomp. A hero like the Monkey King can get easily caught by that stun if he has been hit by something and doesn't get his tree dance off on time. I think you can make some pretty cool plays happen with it, but these are pretty, I would say, 200 IQ or room temperature IQ plays. Probably won't necessarily see it in this particular series, but I want to stay hopeful. I want to stay faithful that one day I'm going to see the fake rune play.
Bro, 200 IQ is room temperature? What are we talking about?
It's a 200 IQ or room temperature.
Yeah, okay.
The keyword there.
We were talking about the EE strategies yesterday. It kind of feels like that throwback to that sort of thing. Right? It's hydrating.
But this is not 50-50, though.
No, definitely not.
Making you waste tips right now so you don't tilt me later.
This was over before
There
it
we go.
started.
That works, that works.
Well, this'll work.
He's a mental mountain.
Oh, I feel better already.
We were talking about the other day how a Nature's Prophet can just be so effective in that mid lane, just because you can go to one water rune yourself, you can use the Treant to, you know, deny the other one. Or Invoker has a similar sort of benefit to that, right? Forge Spirits, just use one to get rid of the other water rune, pick up the other one for yourself. So feels like he should be having a pretty decent time in this mid lane. And again, the main concern for mine is that how are you supposed to make plays to snowball off the back of Sunstrikes? Like, I see very little capability to be able to land a lot of this stuff unless he's perfectly in sync together with the Oracle. You know, if you get level 3 maybe, Fortune's End into a couple Purifying Flames, and while they're rooted, you get the Sunstrike off. But I don't think they're going to put themselves in a dangerous enough position that that's going to be the case.
Yeah. There's two things to that. One, Invoker would need to put a point in Exort to be able to access the Forge Spirit, so we'll have to pay attention to that if he's going full-on Quaswex, or does he put that one value point for the Forge Spirits? Secondly, they picked Monkey King into Invoker, knowing that Tornado is going to dispel his Wukong stacks. So that also kind of talks about how much they wanted this Monkey King, knowing what they're going to do in this matchup, how much he's played against that matchup, and well prepared that if he rotates somewhere, this Invo is very likely to follow. The Invo doesn't need to sit in mid forever. He's great at counter-initiating when your opponent's mid rotates in and maybe looks for the better trade-off for himself. So I'm going to be paying quite a lot of attention into this mid lane, see when they move, what are they doing, what are the small pieces they make.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily a big Quaswex believer. I feel like right-click Invoker is the way to go these days. You know, you can already see he's got the Wraithband queued up for himself. He's got the Gloves of Haste. Whether or not he goes into the Midas, just again, for an ability to be able to deal with his Enchantress and the Beastmaster creep, will remain to be seen. But I do like the fact that we have Invokers going for like the Witchblade route and being a little bit more down the avenue of right-click. And especially just getting into 4 points Quas, 4 points Exort to get the double Forge Spirits, I think is such a key tool at being able to, you know, dominate a lot of these, use those for Alacrity so that when Monkey King does rotate, it's a little easier for you to put some tower pressure on as well. So 1 point Wex, totally get it, just so that you've still got access to the Deafening Blast and the Alacrity itself, but 4 points Quas, 4 points Exort. That's what I'd be rushing if I was in Jesus' shoes.
Or like in Finland, we would say Jesus with a double E. We're hoping the player disconnected our Oracle is going to be returning back to the game. Michael, having a bit of a water overdose.
Very hydrated. He's got a Morphling on his team as well, so plenty of water to play with, surely.
So we're just going to wait for him to return. Not really highlight worthy, but there is the Orb of Venom on Delsa, hoping to deliver a bit of poke in the lane. That means he doesn't have his movement speed active right away. He does have Windlace queued up, which is important, and the boots, also really important if he wants to get benefit out of that Orb of Venom.
Bro, honestly, I feel like this offlane is going to go so horribly for nanana. You've got two melee heroes into an Enchantress Sniper. Like, how are you going to make that work?
That's a good question. I don't have an answer for you, Dano.
And, like, you can go Orb of Venom all you want. You could try and hit them until the cows come home. You're just not going to be able to hit them, is the end result of how this is going to be. You're going to get harassed constantly, you're going to be slowed down, you're going to be pushed away, you're going to be just right-click, right-click, right-click. Don't even need to go too many points into the Nature's Attendants. I think you could probably get away with just 1, maybe 2 points into it, and then just put 4 points into the Impetus and the Enchant.
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes back to a bit of what I was saying, like, nanana's draft is not that easy to execute compared to game number 1, and I think it starts all the way from the laning stage, as you said, like, how do you get to poke your opponent in the lane? They need to cross a boundary. They need to be split with the other one pulling and sniper out of position to actually jump them, you know? So it's not that simple. You need to make your opponent make a mistake that you can then abuse.
For sure, for sure.
Well, otherwise it's just an endless chase of trying to get Battle Hunger up and try to get to him.
Wait, hold on. Is this not Jabolna that's playing?
It should be, because the rosters are locked.
Right, but have a look at what Kiddo just said in chat. They are the Syrian players that are playing on this team. Jabolna and Lizard. So, hopefully, they haven't been too negatively affected or displaced or anything like that. It might have been a goodwill substitute. Like, if it's completely out of your control, then I could totally understand, giving a bit of grace for that. As opposed to, we just can't contact them. They're not on Steam or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact, is, which we had with the first series today, is that the rosters are locked and subs are not allowed, so you're playing with the roster that has been signed up.
That would explain why Kiddo made that move to the offlane as well, right? This means that he was the best offlane replacement that they could get at the time.
It's just not fair.
But we'll see. Maybe the admin's gonna have to notify soon about the pause timer, because we have been on a pause for, I think, at least 5 minutes now. I think the 10-minute rule is also something to pay attention to.
And you know that if this was a pub, it would just be spamming that F9 button from both teams, just trying to get back into it. The double downs would have already been thrown out, and
gameplay for 3 minutes, then paused for another 1 minute, then gameplay for 3 minutes, waiting for the pauses to come back up. Now
even in Deadlock, it happens, and it's like, bro, this is in like beta, and people are still going desperate for a lot of these internet points. Have you played much Deadlock?
A little bit, not a lot though.
It's a good game, and it's good to see like that. I think Dota and CS already kind of have a crossover a little bit in terms of like players that play one kind of play the other, and this is that middle ground of both, right? Where you can talk about skill issue being a legitimate thing, where you can use aim for that potential. But man, the amount of times that I see people that clearly are just not looking at their minimap in Deadlock, it's like, you don't play Dota. Because any time that you have a look at a pro Dota game when you've got the player cams up, you just have a look at their eyes. They are literally glancing at that minimap every 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, with Deadlock, I think a friend of mine killed my motivation pretty quickly in the game. I was super excited about it. I was very happy to play the first few games. Like, wow, this is really intriguing. And then we're 10 hours in, and he's like yelling orders and expecting people to pay attention to like the mini map that he's been calling for like a minute. That someone's behind us, and people are still learning that. Oh, there's a shop next to the tower, you know. And just a huge argument. And I was like, well, guess we're not playing Deadlock.
Yep. There's always going to be arguments in any kind of competitive-ish game, right? For multiplayer. It's what makes it fun. Passion coming through, just can't let it get personal.
But it is what it is, you know, the video game world. We just try to help with the non-toxicity projects going on and on. I made a whole thesis about non-toxicity. I'm not sure if we've ever actually even talked about it with you.
No, we haven't. I'm interested to hear about it.
So back in 21, when I was about to graduate from social services in university, I got my bachelor's degree. I made a thesis about toxicity in video games and forming partnerships and friendships through video games in general. So it's like a semi non-toxicity project, but more of a query to see if people have faced toxic behavior in their pubs, if they have caused toxic behavior in pubs, and also about have they formed friendships, have they found like gaming communities, and have they formed relationships through video games. And I had over 660 people reply to it, which is one of the biggest theses ever made by a bachelor in that university. So we got some really cool stuff coming out of it, really interesting answers, not only just men and women, but also like non-binary and other genders. So a large variety of answers here and there. And what was really noticeable was the age group of 18 to 21 tends to be the most toxic, and also the ones who create toxic culture. And that number decreases and decreases as we get older, basically. So groups 22 to 25, a little bit less, 25 to 28, even less, and you know, you get the gist of it.
I feel like that just happens in general. As people get older, they get to chill out more, and they just stop giving a shit about a lot of other stuff as well.
It's when, you know, it's a part of maturing, right? People learn that, you know, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. You learn from your mistakes, and try not to do it the next time around.
Also, like, as you get older, you know, when you're in that 18 to 21, you probably have a little bit more free time. So it's like, the game is everything. You know, this is everything that I'm committing my time to. When you get into your, like, mid to late 20s, it's like, okay, well, I've got work, and I've got relationships, and I've got all this other stuff that I need to balance my time with, and I just want my gaming time to be fun. You know, like, let's not care all that much. Let's just have a good time.
But, you know, I can link it to you. You might have to do some heavy Google translating, but you can take a look at it if you're interested in what's going on there. I mean, the results were actually really interesting, so might be worth taking a quick glimpse. But
like, when you were saying all those questions, like, have you experienced toxicity? Have you been toxic? Have you found a community? Have you found relationships out of video games? I could say yes to every single one of those. Like, the Gambit is there as Oracle. Reconnects. All right. We get back into it and
back to Dota.
All right. How long do you think this one's going to go for? 37 minutes was last game. I am almost going to guarantee that this is going to be shorter than that. But how much shorter?
How much shorter? I think looking at this draft, depending on this Beastmaster build, okay, it's the pusher build. 22 minutes for Dire.
I could see it. I could also see maybe 26. You know, just around that siege creep wave. Maybe get an additional wisdom room.
That is potential. I mean, the way you're pointing out the whole issue for nanana's off-lane duo, it's going to be a hard lane for them to execute this double melee versus double range. Beastmaster being protected by this Morta up against Morphling. It's a good matchup for the Beastmaster. He's fully happy with it. Mid is going to tell us the most here. What is Mr. Jesus going to be building this Invoker? What skill build, what items, at least the double Wraith Band. So this is probably telling me Quaswex is what we're seeing. Well,
I'm interested in what
seconds to battle.
What skill build they're going to go on the Morphling, right? Like, already put a point into the attribute shift. Obviously very, very important to have that at your disposal, but it might be worth putting just 1 point into the adaptive strike to help out with sniping the boars in that laning stage, because they don't have any magic resist to be able to play off with. It's not like Eidolons that are very tanky, able to soak up a lot of that spell damage. That's why you see a lot of, you know, Deucer, Bristleback, Gyrocopter against the Eidolons. Against the Beastmaster, though, I'm expecting, you know, from level 3 onwards especially, Michael just to be spamming those Purifying Flames onto it, maybe throw an Adaptive Strike out there as well, because those give a lot of experience if you're able to take them out.
I could see 3-1-1 be the build, yeah. And also something to highlight here, the Orb of Venom has been sold with a Windlace replacement. Not sure if you mentioned that before.
And we get a bit of a lane swap as well. This makes a lot more sense to me with Michael going up against Gluttony as well as the Monkey King, who is actually rotated as well. So not going to be playing in the mid lane this time around. Going to have Sniper against the Invoker. Makes a lot of sense from both teams here. A lot of these lane movements that they've been able to make. So now you're not quite as concerned about, well, how am I going to keep that Jingu Mastery up in the laning stage? Tornado, not going to be an issue.
Yeah, don't have to worry about the Tornado. Then you have the Oracle as a 4, who just doesn't have the same amount of damage as the Enchantress does, neither the HP, so Gluttony is going to, again, have a fantastic game on this Enchantress.
At least you could do something, though, into the Edge. Like, this would have been so horrible if it was the Elder Titan.
Look at this guy. This
it's
guy is just
completely
styling.
Uncontested CS.
Yeah,
it's completely uncontested CS that you're able to get on this MK.
Yeah, Monkey King's also denied 6 creeps already from the Axe. He's got 0 last hits. His support's being forced away. He's trying to pull. Ench is dropping somewhat low. Blood. Oh my god, that just happened.
They aggroed onto it because he was right-clicking.
He threw in the Blood Grenade, which cost him 50 HP, and the Wild Wing Ripper took a chunk of that Oracle.
Not even going to take away these neutral creeps, it seems, on the Axe. Although he's getting hit by quite a lot. Having to be a little careful here on MK. Just fine enough, though.
He'll continue to
More
deny.
creeps denied in his face. Yep.
At least Axe will get his 3rd from this one here. The swinging Axe with ragdoll effects. That's a pretty loose life, you know. You might accidentally cut your own feet and, you know, get like a movement speed debuff from that cosmetic. Now the Bullet Grenade, this time onto the Axe. 1 second for the Boundless, and this Axe is going to go down. That's going to be first blood for the Monkey.
First blood. Well, not first blood.
So,
Killed lots of people.
the lane is going badly for the Axe. It could be going worse. But the downside is, you've got Morphling now that really doesn't have that potential to, you know, harass out, secure a lot of these last hits onto the core, the Wild Boars, onto the Hawks that Kiddo is going to be summoning as well. Like, ET really isn't going to be all that impactful. Yes, you do at least have a body so that Mr. Zog is going to be able to just sit back and farm, but I don't think that's necessarily an issue. You know, you're not really worried about what Morphling is able to get 10, 15 minutes into the game. You're worried about what Beastmaster is going to have at that stage, because that's what's going to enable him to just run over your towers.
Really wanting to clear the zoo here, but gets pushed onto the tower. Going to take some extra hits here on the Morphling. Nice combination of spells being used, while the Ench is continuing to dive the top lane, but Michael's going to be left alone for now. I'm still not sure if it's Mr. Zog or MMR Zog, but I was calling him
Mr. Zog.
We're going with Mr. Zog.
Ooh, nearly morphing full Agi and being sniped there by one hater, but able to dodge it out just in time.
Oracle's level 1, by the way.
Yep, I can see it.
And definitely
this is expected. Building up some stacks at least. I mean, that kind of feels like the way that this Axe is going to be able to get back into this game. Not off the lane, but off of the jungle.
All goes back to that first phase. Should that Ench have been banned? Then this Oracle made a lot more sense. Yeah. One he does just a 9 creeps as well on bottom. Yeah, he is. Definitely could do. Delsa drops low, gets silenced by the calling, and he will go down with that double follow-up from the Ghosts. Or the Revenants, even.
I just think the priority, again, is just slightly off the mark, right? We saw last game they were diving too deep onto an Enchantress, not able to get the kills. I've seen a few times now as Axe might be in danger of falling down once again. Nice body blocks coming out from Gluttony. They don't have the Hurricane, though, to be able to push him back. Already had used it.
Yeah, a nice usage of that, too. He's using it to make sure Monkey King gets his stacks up.
Nice. But yeah, what I was saying was, like, we've seen it multiple times in this bottom lane that you have had, like, a Hawk or a Boar that's on maybe a quarter HP, and then they just stop hitting it. That is so much XP that you're just letting fall by the wayside, and I feel like it's a really big mistake.
And they're going for the axe here, taking him down. Another one here, brought up by Gluttony. And they're looking for the Oracle. He's pretty defenseless without that Fortune's End. A couple more seconds needed for it. Gluttony helping with the right clicks, and he'll get the double kill on this Enchantress. Monkey King almost level 6. Axes 3, Oracles 2. Nightmare of a top lane, and maybe even bottom as well. Delsa going down again. And maybe even
No
the
cheating,
Morphling. That is 2 points on Attribute Shift, actually, so he did not go for the Adaptive Strike.
Okay.
Was that the question you were about to
81
ask me about his build?
No, it wasn't. It was, without looking, what do you think the CS difference is between Axe and Monkey King?
The CS difference. Okay. So the last time I looked, it was like 28 to 9. So I'm gonna say 35 to 10.
Yeah, 35 to 11 with 15 denies thrown in there.
Close enough. Yeah, I did take a
This lane
glimpse
is
on
not
that like
close,
half a minute ago. So I was like, I
Look at how deep Gluttony is. This is exactly the way that he played last game, and can you blame him? Oh, with the Hellbear dying as well, they got all that extra base attack
yeah,
damage.
they do. Axe is going to have to bring in the call. The tower might kill the Enchantress, and here comes the Invoker as well to intervene. Gluttony goes down. Blood Grenade with the Cold Snap. That's going to ensure this Monkey King is stunned for days. Doesn't even get his Mischief off properly as Mr. Jesus for the rescue.
Maybe that was a little bit deep. You know, just
Maybe,
going underneath
just a
a
bit.
tier 2 tower at that point of the game. Quick look, actually. 1, 2, 3 tower hits that the Enchantress took. Yeah, that's probably 3 too many.
Also, Oracle is already making stacks for this Axe to recover from. Which I think is really important at this stage of the game to have a backup plan for the Axe. As long as he gets his levels, even if he doesn't have the CS, he'll have some sort of farm available for him on the map. Delsa has rotated top, so we're making this a 3v2 lane. Michael's already pushed under the tower. Washed Up will take him down. But what can this Elder Titan do to help? Not a whole lot.
I'm still not seeing the point of the ET.
Look at bottom as well. Invoker's rotation has backfired. That is a costly loss with the Invoker rotating in like that.
Oh, nice dead shot.
And now Delsa, Mr. Zog, well, they got one Hida out of the way, and Kadil, he should die here as well, unless Delsa dies first. Looks like the Beast is just walking it off. This dummy creep doing the rest.
What time did he get that Helm of the Dominator? It must have been like 6.5 minutes. He's already got 800 gold off the back of everything else.
Yeah, looking at his net worth.
And just, again, look at Gluttony. He's in so deep. He's got this deep Observer Ward, meaning that he completely sees whatever Axe is trying to throw at him. And
Invoker's coming in again.
Sunstrike available? Nope.
Meanwhile, Washed Up, trying to finish off the Axe here. Gets tornadoed up in the air. Gluttony gets to break loose because of that. And Delsa's here. It's a 4v2 fight with the safe lane duo from Advanced, just causing a headache.
He's still gonna live. You know he will.
I just love how Gluttony's playing this. Here comes one Hida. He's got the dead shot. He'll zone out the ET. And with that sentry placed down to the trees, they also see the Invoker's movements. Monkey King went straight back to lane the farm. Solo kill with the... Not even the roar used. It's coming off cooldown.
How did that happen? Have a quick look. Because he has no points to the axes. It's just pure right click coming out as finally Gluttony is forced to give up his life.
I guess Perseverance pays off in the end, but with all that happening, that's another 2,000 gold increase for Advance.
They even used the Hadouken to stop the salve onto Axe, so he is going to get a nice few stacks here, but it's the cost of his life. Hello? Okay.
Safety bubble pops.
Safety bubble. Yeah.
Oh no. One more hit would have done it. And the Oracle's coming in for the rescue. Oh, he's got no regen for him. You can only cast a single heal. That's it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not looking good, T. We thought that from the draft, we thought that from the laning stage, and it's kind of played out to expectation with Kiddo. How long is he? Oh, he's only like
He's got the
600
ghost.
gold away from Helm of the Overlord, man. You could potentially be making a play with your 10-minute siege creep. That's nuts.
Are fortified.
And guess where Gluttony's going? It's like a,
Sure. And he's level 6 now, so it's just so much harder to take him out.
yeah, that triangle's my territory. And with all this going, we haven't even had the time to talk about this sniper at all, and I don't think, Danok, we don't even need to talk about this sniper.
Nope, he's just going to sit back, siege, be a little bit annoying. He's taken a few stacks
Kidu?
while all of this suppression was happening.
Well, 4 versus 1, surely they got this Beastmaster kill, right? Right? They got
But if
TP
you do
cancels
that-
on everything.
Even if this happens, you're going to lose 2 towers for it. So, like, yes, it's important that you take him out and slow down that Helm of the Overlord timing, but he was able to buy the ultimate orb, so didn't lose any unreliable gold, and you took 2 towers.
Washed Up finds Michael again. Stacks are up. Boom. Big bat. And using the dead shot to just secure Michael's death.
Seeing that there is another big stack as well. Not that anyone can really look to try and take it. Sniper still stuck back in the safer places because he doesn't have really too many defensive tools at his own
The
disposal.
supports are trying to farm it. This is so funny. Like, Ench with the Centaur and Wanhida, they're just trying to clean up this double, triple stack. Well, at least the remains of that ancient stack. But it's working. The Centaur is pretty tanky. He's 1500 HP with 4 armor. You know, he's done his job.
By the time they're sieging into tier 3s, you might have a blade mail available on this axe, and well, at least he isn't really going to be disrupted from farming this big stack. I'm sure he's a little concerned just because of how much they've been playing around this area that it's covered by an observer ward.
Instant D-ward.
So just walks in.
There's the silence as well from Wanhida. Will prevent that Echo Stomp from going through from Delsa. He does have his Earth Splitter ready, which can do some harm. And now we
Helm of the
got...
Overlord now coming to the Beastmaster as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. Overlord, Diffusal on
the
Monkey, Sniper with Mask of Madness and D-Lance. I feel like they're just fully ready to just, you know, go and fight. See what they've been doing.
instant roar
Invoker
with the
just get
dust.
roared out by Kidu. Deadshot follow up as well, and so low. Invoke just a couple more hits, Kidu. He's got this one. Can he survive all this damage, though? Well, the Earth Splitter makes sure that's a no. But he did kill the Invoker, one of the most important heroes for the Radiant side. So Beast is happy to trade his life away for this trade.
Top tower has fallen.
Mark of a good team, though, is to not just give up a trade for anything. That wasn't an even trade, right? You've got the Helm of the Overlord. It wasn't with an Ancient Creep. You get a 1-for-1 trade, core for core, and you lose a tier 2 tower top from the Sniper and the Enchantress. So
Yeah.
even though it might not feel great that the Beastmaster goes down now for the 2nd time in a row, we're
As
still
the
able
Diffusal.
to get
Morph's going to run out of mana. Won't be able to shift a lot of HP back. It's away. Tornado coming out will be a miss. Axe is trying to look for the angle for the call. Gets stunned. He's going to catch the monkey. He still has the Mischief. And he's just life-stealing out of all of it. Beautiful silence from the Muerta. Wanhida helps this Monkey King stand his ground. And Morphling in a 1v1. Gluttony gets taken down. Mr. Zog in trouble. And the Sniper right next to him. They will deal with him. And all of these tips towards the Monkey King. You thought you're going to balance or push off this mental mountain? Hell no.
Hell no. And again, it's the 14-minute mark. They got to be so desperate to try and secure this Wisdom Rune because Oracle still just level 5, barely level 5 as well, and it feels like Washed Up is just going to be camping that rune, making sure that the False Promise is not going to be available for at least another 2 or so minutes time. They're seeing it as well with that Watcher being claimed.
Radiant's
He is
top
just
tower is under
dreading
attack.
life right now, just not being able to help his team in any capacity, it seems.
Radiant's
14
middle
minutes
tower
in,
is under
so
attack.
8 minutes from my prediction, 12 minutes from Danox.
I was trying to be optimistic, T. I think it could be faster than both of ours.
It could easily be, especially if they start losing more heroes on the map. Axe is trying to get to his Blade Mail's flying on in the Courier. This could be a surprise element versus the Monkey King, but he needs to get it. It looks like he's not going to get it on time. He just Okay, the courier was like a pixel away, but it wouldn't have made any difference. Delsa dying under his T3 tower. And there's your high ground push right away. So 14 minutes in, you're already losing racks.
Guaranteed racks going down as well, right? You're going to get no glyph reset until this melee racks goes down. I'm sure that's why Washed Up is hitting the range, just to say, look, we don't want to stall this one out any longer than we need to. And yeah, there we go. 15 minutes in.
Exactly.
Already putting so much pressure onto it.
Well, with a sniper, can easily siege. You could say that's a very fancy tornado EMP combo, but if he dies because of it, as he's still in the front line, okay, gets a nice stomp
okay,
as well. Okay,
big.
this might actually turn now with Axe with his blade mail, finally getting some damage done. And we're talking about finding out. Well, that is an XD moment for sure.
A triple XD, 3 different ones too, coming through. Really nice stomp coming through, and yeah, I think that is very much warranted, right? Delsa did everything that fight, a 4-man echo stomp just to be able to come through, even though it's only level 1. All of that natural order resistance reduction over time means that now you've really closed in on one of the big timings that you've got, right? Axe has had to slowly walk into a lot of these different fights, but with being part of, what was that, 4 different kills or just 3? 4 of them indeed. He's only 700 gold away from the Blink Dagger now. So
yeah, he has.
This game was falling way out of hand, but it suddenly becomes not insurmountable.
He had 20 gold when he died, and he had 1,500 gold after that high ground fight. And now Sniper gone as well. Was that a... Okay, that was just the Invo combo. Kadu finished off Jesus, but he takes the Sniper with him for 844 gold.
Well, doesn't get the XP though, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's funny how you're like 800 gold, 0 XP on the other end. It shows that the snipe... Yeah, never mind. Yeah. That's exactly as it's supposed to be. Never mind. I'm tripping.
So,
because I'm just staring at this win probability graph, and I'm just looking at that 91 to 9% with a 12,000 gold lead. That's an instant 4K swing in the other direction.
Sure. I mean, again, I can't understate how important this Blink Dagger is going to be for the Axe, especially now that you've got Manta Style as well for Morphling to be able to make plays with. I don't know if you really can play alongside the rest of his team, but my concern is you don't necessarily have the damage to secure kills even with, like, the perfect Blink call. You need the Morphling there as well for it.
You notice the 5 bounty roosts Kiddu picked up this time? Wasn't it Gluttony who found like 3 or 4 the last time around?
Yeah. And they're just going to go Roche. They don't want that same outcome to come on through. Maybe just waiting for TPs to come, perhaps for that mid lane, but I'm sure they've been missing off the map for long enough, as Mr. Zog is actually the one being pinged out a little bit here, but he's going to rotate back towards the jungle in enough time. I think they kind of need to use him as bait though, right? Have him constantly morphing towards strength and just have the team waiting in that smoke just behind it.
Yeah, they have 2 positions with wards. They hope to fight near the triangle where they put down vision next to the T1 tower. And now also this one, which literally just got dewarded by one Hida. This was another area they were hoping to fight in. But now they're under dire vision. Instead, Manta popped from the Morphling. He's in trouble. Body blocked by Gluttony. Forced the other direction. Roared up as well. Into the follow-up stun from the Monkey King. Michael down. Earth Splitter does connect and deal a sizable amount of damage. But nobody's there to clean things up as 3 are gone. Morphling is out of the fight. And Mr. Jesus Christ is also gone.
No Aegis being claimed either. He still survives on about 50 HP on this Monkey King, hidden as a boar at this stage. And
back to 12k.
Just wants to stay that way. Yeah.
All that money you were starting to build towards your team from that previous high ground fight, it's all lost with this.
I was about to say in the lead up to that was well worth an additional smoke, just to make sure that you're not getting caught out instantly, because, hello, kiddo, is he going to be in danger? Nope.
Yeah, that's...
Played the reverse card on him.
I mean, that fight pretty much just cost them the game.
Ooh.
Monkey King might lose his... Okay, never mind. It's only a 2-point Exort Sunstrike. But the Tornado, stronger than that. Second lane of Rex claimed. Just 4 minutes after the previous.
Really good control for Michael as well on his Oracle. Like, it was the silence from the calling into the Boundless Strike that hit onto 2, means that the Morphling couldn't just stay in the middle of that team fight, right? He had to retreat. He couldn't use the lifesteal that would have been coming from the Vladimir's offering, and this is going to be a 20-minute mega creep game. I think you might be on the money, T, around that 22-minute mark, and really wouldn't put it past them just to call GG now.
It's probably going to be over now with this Invoker caught.
It was a complete outdraft.
Complete outdraft, and execution-wise too, I feel like... well, execution probably not that much. We'll just fully agree. It was an absolute outdraft. Like, the way that those lanes were set just were setting up for disaster.
And they did the best that they could, right? Even having, you know, a non-4 play 5... a non-4 play 4, a non-5 play
GG.
5. They tried to change it around a little bit as Jesus says GGGL next, and a well-worthy team gets to come on through and be part of this next stage. And the plus side is as well, Advanced Esports, they've got, what is that, a little bit of a wait, maybe 2 hours or so. I don't think they'll be able to have the position 2 and 3